All right, guys. So a lot of you, or some of you, have been asking me about Tom MacDonald and what I think about Tom MacDonald. So everybody is doing this reaction to, I guess, his new song, "Fake Woke," or music video. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a reaction to it now. What do I know about Tom MacDonald? What I do know is that anytime I've ever heard a song from him, I've never heard any lies. Now, I can't sit here and say that I listen to Tom MacDonald on a regular basis, because when I listen to music, I don't really want to listen to music, talking about woke stuff, or whether it's for or against, to be quite honest. When I listen to music, I'm trying to zone out and think about how to get rich. But Tom MacDonald, though, if I was in the mood to, listen to somebody rant on, culture and fake wokeness and things of that nature, yeah, I probably would go to him first. So, without further ado, I'm going to react to this song because, this is the popular thing to do. And I feel like a lot of you guys are probably Tom MacDonald fans. So, I'll react. I have no clue how this works from a copyright perspective. I've looked at so many different reaction videos. I'm like, how are they running ads on this? How has this not been taken down? So, I guess I just got to pause it every 30 seconds or so in order to make it fair use. I'm assuming that's how fair use will work in this situation. So, who knows? But let's go ahead and get into it, and I'm gonna react to this because I know Tom is coming for some necks. So I'm trying to see him come for some necks. Okay.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm the one they label as controversial, but Cardi B is a role model for 12-year-old girls. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This man dropped a truth bomb 7 seconds into the video. It is a shame. Think about that, man. Somebody like Cardi B, who has a fake butt, fake breast implants, fake everything, talks about sex, talks about selling her body, basically. That's a role model, right? That's who Joe Biden is interviewing to get insights into the black community, to try to appeal to black folks. This is the society we live in, man.
There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it.
Damn. Another truth. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard. Huge problem. Huge problem in rap, man. Pushing hardcore drugs like Xanax, these other drugs that, end up killing people, right? Ruining people's lives. That's something that's celebrated. It's cool to run ads on something like that, but if you start talking about race, if you start talking about politics, all of a sudden, advertisers don't like that. But what advertisers do like is music that promotes people killing themselves and ruining their lives. But if you were talking about how to make society better, all of a sudden, advertisers don't like that. Pretty crazy.
It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be...
Yeah, come on, man. Eminem, wow, this man came at Eminem. Now, Eminem, I mean, I ain't keep 100 with you. I think Eminem is no doubt top 5 greatest rappers ever. I mean, I don't understand how you can make a top 5 list without Eminem up there. Definitely probably a top 3 lyricist, no doubt in my mind. But, his past before, the things he used to talk about in his songs, especially, when he was Slim Shady, I mean, how can you go from that to now saying that you don't want anybody that supports Trump to be a fan or to listen to your music? Like, that's crazy. I mean, I get it. The money is already made, but at the same time, I mean, these same people who support Trump now made you who you are. So for you to go back on it just because you made money is kind of messed up. It's instead of trying to talk to people, right? Trying to have conversations with people about why they support Trump, why they believe this, why they believe that. Instead, people just want to demonize somebody because they like a political candidate. It's really ridiculous. And it is harder to buy a gun than it is to get a job.
American. should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white...
Yep, basically. Yeah, everything you say is homophobic or racist. You got to be very careful, not to offend nobody, not to misgender somebody, not to, at some point we're gonna be misracialing people, I guess. Once transracialism becomes a thing, which it will, it definitely will be. It's really sad to think about where society is headed, and this man is really hitting all the key points here.
Then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got me too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens. We think we free because we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame.
Facts. Cell phones, just another cage, man. Computers, social media. It's a trap. It's a trap for us to go back and forth and how this race war while the rich people get rich. It's simple stuff.
They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell me what to believe in. They so fake.
Yo, this hook kind of slap. I ain't gonna lie. It's a pretty nice hook. At first, I was like, I don't know about this, but then I started listening. I was like, okay, I'm vibing a little bit. Okay, I get it. All right. I think it's crazy how these people screaming facts, but they fake woke. Hate their neighbor cause he wears a mask or he stays home. Has a daughter but his favorite artist said he slays hoes. Picks her up from school, music slaps on the way home. Censorship's an issue cause they choose what they erase. 100% facts. Facts, nothing but facts. Censorship, they choose what they want to erase, right? So if they don't want you to be heard, they don't want your voice to be heard, then you won't be heard. That's the issue with censorship.
There's a difference between hate speech and speech.
This simple addition to your smartphone allows you to see everything.
Oh, there's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Right? Speech that and that's what I try to say about how people want to classify hate speech. Hate speech is subjective, okay? It purely depends on what side of history you're on. And that's what it purely depends on. Okay? The thing is that what may be offensive to somebody else may not be offensive to somebody else, to another person. Okay? And I just hate how everything is classified as hate speech if you don't agree with the mainstream narrative or you have some religious aspect to it or something of that nature. Everything is classified as hate speech. Therefore, we're going to limit that speech. Right? It's not even about, again, it's not even about hate speech because particularly liberals always saying hate speech. They're always saying hate speech all the time. AOC goes on Instagram and does a live where she basically spouts hate speech all day. But that's speech that the corporations like. That's speech that the leftists like. So they don't classify that as hate speech. But if you say, oh, I support Trump because, I'm against abortion, that might be hate speech. I mean, it's much more likely that somebody on the right saying that they're against abortion is going to be classified as hate speech than somebody on the left basically calling all white people white supremacists. It's crazy.
I think Black Lives Matter was the stupidest name when the system's screwing everyone exactly the same.
Yeah. Black Lives Matter was a bad name. Terrible name. And the system is screwing everybody the same. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, people don't, what a lot of these people in Black Lives Matter don't understand is that poor middle class whites and poor middle class blacks have the same thing in common. They both poor middle class. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to go back and forth with each other over the nuances and, oh man, do black people get as much opportunity as white people, blah, blah, blah. We're all in the same boat. It's about class, not about race. The elites want you to think it's about race. Because if you think about race, like I told you guys, race does not have a solution. There's no solution to the race conversation. That's why they want us to keep having it. They want us to keep having it because they know it is an eternal distraction that will never go anywhere. It's a problem that will never be solved. The race issue can't be solved. And they know that.
If you have a $100 or more monthly electric bill, listen up. Almost all the electric companies.
To my family, without being accused of celebrating native casualties.
Yep, can't even celebrate Thanksgiving, right? Because they say Thanksgiving, is a bad holiday because it's celebrating, Native Americans getting, massacred primarily by disease from, white people and Europeans and things of that nature. And, again, it's just stuff that's harmless, or that should be harmless, is now harmful to certain people because they want to get extra woke about history, right? They want to use revisionist history to try to make out certain figures in history to be the worst people of them, right? Even though at that time period, everybody was doing the same thing. Everybody was, killing each other and, trying to conquer the next world, right? Everybody was doing that.
We got so divided, it's black and white and political. Republicans are bigots, libtards if you're liberal.
That's an interesting point. I mean, we definitely like to generalize each other based off what side of the aisle that we're on from a political standpoint. So that's actually a good point. We do love name calling across the aisle.
There's riots in our streets and it's just getting worse. Y'all screaming deep on the police, y'all are genius for sure. They're underfunded already, they're way too busy to work. Order food and call the cops, see what reaches you first. Segregation ended, that's a lie in itself. That was a strategy to make us think they were trying to help. They knew that racism was hot if they designed it to sell. We buy up every single box and divide us ourselves. They saw.
Yep, exactly. I mean, the part about the defunding police, obviously, that speaks for itself. I mean, it's really silly, right? It's a silly idea to want to get rid of an already underfunded police force, right? Also, on top of that, a lot of people don't understand that police officers are jobs, right? You shouldn't be wanting to cut jobs, especially jobs that geared towards trying to protect society to a certain extent. Okay, like if you go to any one of these small town America places where most of the people in the police officers are from the towns, yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, no, you need to respect the police, right? Because those are people from that area, okay? And obviously anything that goes towards defunding those people is not going to be good policy, right? In an area like that, right? So, I mean, this man is really, really hitting some key points that, I think is just very, very, very relevant and actually real woke.
Warren Buffett just sold $800 million of Apple stock.
Whoa, facts don't care about feelings, they know, they won't tell me what to believe in.
Like I said, man, yeah, this hook slaps, right? The more I listen to it, the more I'm like, fake, whoa. Also, I mean, the amount of tattoos this guy has, he's almost like the white version of Lil Wayne with all these facial tattoos.
Violence to get peace and wonder why it isn't working. That's like sleeping with a football team to try and be a virgin. Politicians are for
Oh, man. Sleeping with the football team to try to be a virgin. I know some girls like that. But anyways.
Someone always makes the purchase, but you and I cannot afford it. Our democracy is worthless.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, politicians are for sale, guys. Right? Like, most people just, they buy their politicians. Right? Rich people buy their politicians. A lot of people spend a lot of time going back and forth about politics, but at the end of the day, it's all about what you can buy, what you can afford, right? If you want a certain policy done, the real deal, Holyfield, is that you got to buy it, right? You got to have enough money to buy what you want, okay? And that's basically how politics works, which is why I believe that money in politics is probably one of the biggest issues of our time right now.
A man has mental illness, call him crazy, say it silently. When country's going crazy, we accept it as society.
Again, another great point. Right? When a man is going crazy, you say he's sick, we try to get him some help, right? When our country is going crazy, we just accept it, right? I mean, it's just, again, our country, is our country going crazy? That's a good question. That's something to think about, right? Is our country going crazy?
Get sick and take a pill when the side effects get you high. You get addicted like these rappers dying, fighting with sobriety. Censoring the facts turns our children into idiots. They claim it's for our safety. I'll tell you what it really is. Removing information that empowers all the citizens. The truth doesn't damage points of view that are legitimate. illegitimate. They're trying to change amen to amen and women. How'd we let them make praying a microaggression instead of asking?
Yep. Everything in society is becoming microaggression. Everything in society is becoming woke, right? Everything in society is transforming into the uber liberal narrative. And if you don't abide by those rules, then you are a bigot or a racist or a white supremacist or all of the above, basically. Even if you're black now, apparently you can be a white supremacist, right? According to some of these people. So, you know, this is just, you know, a great song basically outlining the problems that we currently have in society.
God for the strength to keep winning. We cheat to get ahead and then we ask him for forgiveness. Feminism used to be the most righteous of fights, but these days it feels like they secretly hate guys. I don't trust anyone who bleeds.
Yeah, a lot of these feminists just hate men. A lot of these feminists just hate men. A lot of it. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of it too is about, you know, fighting for women's rights, right? Which I'm all for. I'm all for women's rights, okay? But a lot of these so-called feminists, they just hate men. They just don't like men. They're just like, oh, F men. So we don't like you.
For a week and don't die. I'm just kidding. But everything else that I said is right. They so fake woke. Facts don't care about feelings. They know they won't tell.
Guys, did I mention how much this hook slaps? Right? I gotta say, sorry, I gotta keep pausing it. But this guy, you know, I didn't notice that he was so tatted up like this. I mean, he looks like a par for the course rapper here, so it's actually pretty hilarious to see him talking about all this, but at the same time being so tatted up and looking the way that he looks. It's pretty ironic and also a very fascinating thing. That hook was pretty good. That was a pretty good hook. It's kind of catchy. You know what I'm saying? That was good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. And that was the first time I had listened to it before reacting. So, yeah, guys. I mean, again, Tom MacDonald, I had listened to some of his stuff before. So it's not like I haven't heard it. And like I said, what he said came as no surprise to me because I've been hearing him spit stuff like this for a long time. But, you know, this was really good. This is probably one of the better songs that I've heard from him. So, yeah, there you have it, guys. That's my reaction to it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective.